Would you choose a doer-upper or would you choose a new build? That is the burning question facing most first-time buyers, whatever stage of the journey they're at. In this series, we meet Leana and Cathal and follow them on their journey of new build home versus doer-upper. Leana and Cathal, tell me a little bit about where you're living right now.
So we live out in Palmerstown. That's my hometown. I've lived there my entire life. We live in a log cabin out my parents' back garden.
And how long have you been living in the log cabin?
3 years now.
3 years now, yeah.
Why did you move in? Why aren't you renting?
We couldn't afford to rent with our salaries.
At the time when we found out we were house sharing with two guys.
I suppose you're living with your parents. Does that mean you can put a lot more into savings?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we put around 1,600 a month into savings.
Okay, so that's quite a significant chunk, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Would you be able to do that if you were renting?
Oh,
no,
God, no.
With these rents, well, I don't even know.
I'm not sure we'd be able to save it all if we were renting, to be perfectly honest.
It's as good as it gets, I suppose. If you have to be living with your parents to save for a house, for a deposit, then it's as good as it gets.
Is sustainability important to you?
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
There's obviously the environmental factors would come into it, but it's just with our budget, it's something that we might need to make a sacrifice on.
Unfortunately, because obviously it would be beneficial for us. It's beneficial for environment, but it just feels like that's something out of reach, maybe.
So you would love
a
a sustainable A-rated home, but you feel it's out of your reach?
Yeah, possibly.
But hopefully we get a nice new build, A-rated, hopefully.
So guys, have you considered the Help to Buy scheme or the First Home scheme?
Yes, so we've applied for Help to Buy, just to kind of have it there if we're going to use it. And we've been approved for about 10,000.
Okay.
So not the full amount, but that's okay because we have enough of our own savings to cover.
And what about the First Home scheme?
Yeah, that was actually a great incentive, I have to say. They give you up to 30% of the
property value.
Yeah. So that's kind of bridge the gap between your mortgage.
What's the dream? Describe your kind of the ideal community.
I would love to stay somewhere settled. I'd love to stay in my home area. My whole life is there. I've lived in Palmerstown more or less my entire life. My parents there, my whole family's there, my whole group of friends is there.
More than a location, I want a house that's big enough, that's nice enough. So I would much prefer a new build. One of my arguments is a lot of new families, young families will be buying, new builds and starting their kind of lives there. And I would definitely want that for Roisin to have friends next door and stuff where she doesn't have that.
Clubs, community, friendliness, neighbours, parks, they're the really important things. So I think if you kind of focus on that, your search won't go wrong.
Yeah.
But the actual house, what's the dream house look like?
So we do want 3 bedrooms minimum. Realistically, it will be 3 bedrooms is what we could afford. But we want obviously one for ourselves, one for Roisin, and we need a third spare just for Leana's family if they want to come and visit us.
Bath is a must.
A nice back garden.
Yeah, garden is the deal breaker.
I would like a nice big kitchen, nice open kind of plan kitchen.
Do you like to cook?
I do. I love to cook, yeah. That would be one of my big interests at home. I'd like to spend the day making a nice big meal.
But,
what about having friends over?
Definitely.
Nice. Well, of course, the nice big kitchen would have the dining room table where you can have people over. And
what would attract you guys to a doer-upper?
So it'd be more me looking at that kind of thing. So for me, I wouldn't be daunted by a lot of the work. You'd be getting one in a more established area. There'd be a lot of amenities there already.
Leana, what about you?
Well, I am leaning towards a new build. I would much prefer to have a house that I know is okay and it's turnkey. You just move in and everything's nice and done for you. With a full-time job, a small child and 2 dogs, I wouldn't want a lot of work to need done on the house. So it would need to be something really special.
So for you guys, it's open plan, 3 bedrooms, garden. You probably think that I'm all up for the Doer-Upper, and Doer-Uppers can be fantastic, but you need time and you need cash to cover the renovation. There are pros to new builds too. There are government schemes to help you buy. The house is finished, it's ready to go, and it's A-rated and sustainable, which means that you can wander around the house in your t-shirt in December.